Welcome back to the channel. So before I go any further, I just wanted to say thank you to all the new subscribers that we have. I hope that you guys will enjoy this channel. I'm going to do my best to entertain you, but a lot of you came over to my channel and it is much appreciated. So that was one thing I wanted to start off with, was thank you. We actually were at around 1,600 subscribers, and I just checked, and I think we're around 24, almost 2,500 subscribers. So I appreciate that a lot. So on this episode, we will be working on Mike's Mustang. So it's been in the shop for a little while. We're going to work on some of the cage stuff and buttoning up some of the welding that needs to be done on the bottom side of it. And he's supposed to be bringing by some parts because we're going to be building a twin turbo kit for this, and it's getting a Coyote. So what is much cooler than that? A lot of you don't like Coyotes, but that's okay. So we're going to work on that. We're also going to work on the Blazer. We're going to do some updates on it. We might end up working on the shop car. I don't know how much time we're going to have. And we get a new car getting dropped off. Go figure, that's another Mustang. So let's get to it. You're watching the Vasco Speed and Performance YouTube channel. Okay, it's been a little while since I've had a free chance to work on Mike's car, so we are to that point now. So what I've gone and done this morning is I have centered the rear end side to side and as close as I can front to back with everything we got going on. So wheel fits in there pretty centered front to back on both sides. That being said, this bracket here is for your shocks. It's supposed to sandwich this, but let me show you what I got going on here. So when you stick this in here centered, which would be about like that, the shock looks, I can leave it there. It doesn't look bad straight up and down, but when you look at it this direction, if it was in the bolt holes, it would be at an angle. So I like to try to make those straight up and down. So the problem with it is this bar here is pre-made. So it's either A, too far forward, or the shock tabs are too long. So you can always drill another hole in here or do something to correct that, but I still need to move this and space that over. So I'm gonna work on the shocks today, getting that situation figured out. Once I get that figured out, then I can work on the anti-roll bar. So that's gonna be my objective for the day. I went ahead and started cleaning up the bottom side, so I threw a little bit of paint on here. I ran out of paint, but I went ahead and welded the bottom side of the plates. Went ahead and welded the subframe connectors in, threw some primer on there on the bottom side. These were hanging down like that far, so I had to trim those off and get that cleaned up. So the other side of this thing's looking pretty good, and then we can start back on the cage. So let's get to doing some shock modification mounts. So a little update on Mike's car. This bar here is a shock bar that I made. The shock bar that was in there was forward about a ½ inch, and I didn't really like the way it worked. I thought about cutting it down and moving it onto this side, so therefore the bar would be over here and the brackets would come backwards, but then you would be close to the rear end hitting, so I didn't want to do that. So I went ahead and made a new bar and mounted it back here, so it's just decently tacked in there for now. I had to make my own shock brackets because I didn't want to cut the other ones off the other bracket, so made those on the plasma table, so that's all on there and it sits in there pretty good. So now the next thing I need to do is I need to have the bars go from the main hoop through the packing shelf down to this bar. Ideally you could go to, you know, a 6x6 plate here, but I'm just going to come in about like that, try to get it as close as possible, and then go through that speaker hole up to there. So I'm gonna map this stuff out and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so I finally got the down bars on Mike's car done. So they go from the main hoop through the speaker holes. He's planning on putting the back seat in, so that should work. And then they land on our new shock bar that we made. So took a little bit of finessing to get it to land how I wanted it to land, but I didn't want to have a redundant one of these. But the cool thing about this is if we wanted to make an anti-roll bar, we could mount it to here and then hook it up to the rear end. So maybe we'll do that. We will see. We got these back bars made today. I'm going to work on getting those welded in. Also going to work on cutting this out and mounting the fuel cell and then figuring out the anti-roll bar. So that stuff's probably going to be on the next episode, but I just at least wanted to make some progress on this beast. We are also going to be building a twin turbo kit for this, and it is going to be Coyote powered. So stick around for that. So let's see what else we got going in the shop. So along with selling belly pans, one of the things that I sell is a parachute mount for a C7 Corvette. So my dad is a tool and die, and he made this jig for me. So I actually sold one of these, and it's headed to Arizona to Cortez Performance. So I am going to build this one real quick, get it knocked out. And I figured I would just put it on the channel and show you guys me building a parachute mount. So let's get to it. So I wanted to take a little time today to introduce my nephew. He's been on the channel before. This is Dax. Dax, say hi.
Hi.
And Dax is, how old are you?
I'm 6.
6 years old, and he is getting into racing four-wheelers. So we are going to watch him race his four-wheeler. So, you excited?
Yeah.
You're going to win?
Did you win last time?
What'd you get last time?
3rd place.
3rd place and?
4th place.
In 1st place.
And it was his very first time racing last time.
Yeah, and he's on a little 80cc two-stroke. So we're going to go out and watch him do another race. So let's get to it. Okay, so the last episode we cut off the front of the beater bomb. Everybody had tons of guesses. There were a lot of really, really good guesses. So as you know, the front end that we cut off was 54 pounds plus the trash can and the penny. So let's go over to the trash can, weigh it together so everybody knows what it weighs, and then we'll go over who the winner is. So let's get to it. So to be honest with you, I totally forgot how much this stuff weighed. So I'm going to put it on the scale. We already know that the front end was 54 pounds and the scale is at 0. So I'm going to set this on here and we'll see how much it weighs. $89.86 pounds. Okay, so for the beater bomb, we have 54 pounds for the front end and 89.86 in the trash can plus the penny comes to 143.86. So let's see who's the closest person, and you're gonna get some free swag. Okay, so our winner for the t-shirt contest is user Brad5085. Congratulations, Brad5085. One, that's a really good name because my name's Brad, so I assume that's your name also. But he guessed 143.5. Closest person was him. So you're going to get some swag from us. You're going to get some swag from Joey. So make sure you send me an email at vascospeed@gmail.com. We'll get your shirt sizes and we'll get some swag shipped out to you. So thank you again and appreciate everybody for guessing. Thank you to everybody for participating in the Guess the How Much Weight We Cut Off the Front of the Beater Bomb contest. It was awesome seeing everybody's guesses. There was a lot of really close stuff, guesses to the final weight. So really appreciate it. That was really cool reading through all the comments. That being said, if you didn't get a shirt, I got a deal. So I talked to Joey. We're going to do a combo deal. So you're going to get one of Joey's shirts, one of my shirts for $40. So you're saving $10 on the deal. We do have a limited supply. So make sure you check out vascospeed.com, look at our combo deal, and get you some shirts. So I appreciate everybody playing the contest. We're going to try and think of something new and do another contest coming up. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. So I'd much rather be working on race cars right now, but I'm working on the old daily beater. So this is my 05 Malibu Max. And I was driving out to my dad's the other night and it started making a gnarly noise. And it sounded like we had like metal brakes. And I was like, I don't know what the heck's going on. So let me show you what I'm doing real quick because I thought it was a pretty good one. So this is the water pump and yep, the bearing went out on it. It's done so yeah, I get to replace a water pump on this tonight. But hey, this thing's got 330,000 miles. Doesn't owe me any favors. So hopefully I can get this knocked out and then we can get back to building race cars. Okay, Matthew's over here wiring away on the Blazer, making good progress.
It's tight.
Thank you. Yeah, this thing's looking good. He's got the upper hose, the lower hose made, hose clamps on it. You got coolant in it, right?
Coolant's in it. We've got the AC charged.
We even charged the AC on this thing?
Yo.
Dang.
And now we're just putting connectors on the headlights.
Oh yeah, those look nice.
Connectors on the headlights, connectors on the side markers, connectors on the turn signals.
Cool. Heck yeah.
And,
it's looking good.
just got one more connection to put over here.
And then
Loom that up, and then we've got tail lights and rear side marker lights.
And then we gotta do a steering shaft. We gotta finish the exhaust, some other little things, but nothing too crazy. So cool. Well, heck yeah, that's awesome, man. Looking good. So everybody's gonna think that this shop just works on Fox body coupes. That's not the case. Even though right now we have 4 in the shop, one of them being my shop car. So don't judge me for that. They're just fast. But let's take a little bit of time to talk about Justin's car because he just dropped it off this weekend. So let's see what we got to do to it. So this is Justin's Mustang. He actually lives in Jacksonville, Florida. And he got a hold of us. He's a viewer of the YouTube channel. So thank you for subscribing, Justin. We appreciate all the support. But he got with us and said, hey, I really want you to do some stuff to this car. So is it all right if you, take it on? I said, let's do it. So he's going to be doing a LS with a turbo kit. He's going to be doing a rear-mounted radiator from Hook and Chassis, which is another local shop up here. So we're going to be installing the rear radiator, all the coolant hoses and stuff like that. We're going to be building a turbo kit. There's some issues with the cage doesn't have D-bars, which are the bars that go from here down to the subframe connector, so we can install those. That way this cage will be certifiable. Also, there's some things in the back that he wants to address. Like he wants to get rid of this square tubing back here, so we're going to get rid of that. He wants to get rid of this square tubing, so we're going to get rid of that. This bar that comes across here, it was elevated, and that was where they connected the shocks to. But if you'll notice, the shocks aren't parallel. They kind of do this, and they're actually leaned forward. So him and I talked, and we're going to change some brackets on the rear end. So we're going to be doing Marty Marilat brackets on the 8.8. So we're going to be cutting these off, cleaning them off, welding the axle tubes, adding a new support brace to it, doing a whole bunch of stuff to that. But once the rear end's knocked out, then we will reinstall these shocks in a better location so that they look a lot better. So that's kind of the game plan for this thing. We have some seats and stuff to install, some other items along the way, but we need to get the rear end going. Once we get the rear end knocked out, then we can work on doing the rear mounted radiator. And then once all that's done, then we can move our way up forward to doing the turbo kit. So figured to do a little update on it. We probably won't work on it right now. It'll probably be a little bit later in the week, so it'll be on the next episode that we'll make some progress on this thing. So like I said, we've got 4 Fox bodies. The shop car, Mike's car, Justin's car, and the beater bomb. Which brings me to the next point. So my wife is really, really good about getting me balloons for achievements. Well, she got me these because our goal was to hit 2,000 subscribers, and you guys are amazing. We blew that out of the water. So I really, really appreciate everybody coming by the channel. I could not be more ecstatic. It is so cool that you guys have subscribed, and I hope to uphold everybody's standards, and I hope that I don't let anybody down and bore you too much. So I really, really appreciate that. I just wanted to say thank you to all the new subscribers. We are trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. We knocked that out of the park. We're already to 3,000 subscribers. So let's get rid of this 2. Let's bring in the 3. Next stop, 5,000 subscribers.